Okay, should be recording now. Tuesday means it's back day. So yeah, what is it? It's about 1:20 in the afternoon. So not a early session, but also not a late session. Still early relative to my standards, which is usually rocking up at like 8 at night. So I'm kind of enjoying these earlier training sessions, to be completely fair. Like I feel like I have a little bit more energy, especially in this mini cut. I'm actually enjoying training on less food. So I think when I do finish this mini cut and dive back into the like surplus into the second push-up phase of this off season, I'll probably continue with these earlier training sessions, just kind of like midday, late morning, after kind of my first block of work. So that way I can kind of sustain that, not empty feeling, but like not a overly full feeling when I'm training, because it's never a nice feeling, to be honest. And when I'm in a surplus, I'm pushing close to 1,000 carbs, if not over 1,000 carbs a day, and that's a lot of food. And so if I'm trying to get at least, say, like 1/3 of that in before my training session, or even a half of that in, I'm feeling pretty bloated by the time I'm training. So I think I'm gonna definitely carry this habit over into the next push-up phase, that's for sure. Just earlier sessions on like 1 or 2 meals at the absolute most. But yeah, I've already drank 4 liters of water today, so it's a pretty good start. That's one thing that I do notice. Like a lot of people complain about not having a pump when they're training in the gym, and although yeah, salt, potassium, electrolytes are important, like fluids are important too. Hydration's important. If you can hear this background noise, they're putting together some new gym equipment, I think, in the gym. So just yeah, bear with me. But yeah, I mean, they go hand in hand. You can't just have one and not the other. You need your electrolytes and water to get a good pump. And most people on average are dehydrated like 24/7, or I found that's the case at least. Of all the people I've coached over the years, I'd say probably a good 2 out of 10 of them are usually adequately hydrated without me getting on their case about drinking more water. I always say a good rule of thumb is about 1 liter of water per 20 kilos of body weight. So to put that into perspective for the imperial system, like for every 45 pounds of body weight, aim for about like a quarter of a gallon of water. So if you're, say, God, that's annoying. If you say 180 pounds body weight, aiming for a gallon of water a day is a good starting point, I reckon. And then adjust on a needs basis from there, based on your activity level, how much you sweat, like what the climate or the temperature is like where you're at. If it's really hot, like what season is it? Like if it's summer versus if it's like fall, like you're going to be drinking a different amount. But yeah, fluids are just as important as electrolytes when it comes to staying hydrated and having a pump. And contrary to what a lot of these young guys in the gym think, if you're drinking all these pre-workouts that are like jacked up on stimulants, even a pre-workout that's just got caffeine in it, you're going to find that you're going to have a shit pump a lot of the time, because most people don't do their research. They just take a product and they just read whatever it says on the label and take it at face value. But you need to be a little bit more switched on than that. Like if you're going to take a product, a pre-workout, whatever it is, or an illicit drug, you should know how it works. Like just because it's sold over the counter doesn't mean that you should view it or perceive it any less of a way. Like, so caffeine is a vasoconstrictor. It causes a constriction or the narrowing of your blood vessels, which reduces blood flow, i.e. reduces the fucking pump. And a lot of people don't realize that. So they take all these pre-workouts and shit like that, and they're like, oh, I don't get a pump. I'm not getting a pump. Or they're like 5 coffees deep for the day and they're wondering why they're not getting a pump. That's probably the reason why. That and then dehydration. But more often than not, I think it's due to vasoconstrictors, things like caffeine and other stimulants. Because everyone basically monkeys stimmed out of their fucking heads these days. That's pretty much the majority of the population. Like, we just rely on stimulants way too much. Yeah, down another kilo or 2.2 pounds overnight in this mini cut. So that brings my total loss so far of 4.2 kilos, which is 9 to 10 pounds. So I've lost 9 to 10 pounds in literally 7 days being on this mini cut. So yeah, that's a pretty good start, I reckon. But I want to wrap this video up here because that background noise is annoying the hell out of me. And I'll see you guys in the gym for the back and rear delt session. So I already did a warm-up set. Now I've got 2 working sets, same weight as last week, 59.1 kilo, and I got 18 and 15 reps last week, so I'll try aim for like 18 and 16 or something like that, just a small little progression. It's all that's needed. So you're probably wondering why I only do 2 sets on the pullover, the exercise I was doing before. And the main reason, honestly, is just it fatigues the hell out of me and I get a lot of stimulus in a single set. So doing 2 is all that's required, and I find if I do more than that, I mean, yeah, sure, I'll get more stimulus, but it just messes up the rest of my session. And if I do pullovers at the end of the session, I don't get the same degree of stimulus. So yeah, that's pretty much why I do it. I do it first because it's kind of like a good potentiation exercise for the rest of the session. But enough dicking around and talking, time to actually do some fucking work. Same weight as, I think, yeah, same weight as last week. I'll just double check how many reps I got, because if I max the rep range out, I'll bump the weight up. Was it, no, I got 12, so same weight as last week. Just adjust this. There we go. Now I can get my legs underneath it. We are good to go. Weaker side first, always. Bit of a rest, and then go again. Okay. This pad's putting a little bit of pressure on where my ingrown hair surgery was, so it's a little bit uncomfortable, but just grip my teeth and bear it. God, that's hard set. Alright, on to my least favourite back exercise now, bent over dumbbell rows. Mostly because it's hard, but the reality is, guys, sometimes it's the hard shit, the shit that you don't want to do, that you need the most. So yeah, just suck it up and do it, pretty much. Yeah, so it looks like I'll be doing cable row again this week. Just kind of what I did 2 weeks ago. Due to the dumbbell floor kind of being too busy, I don't want to get somebody's knickers in a twist and piss them off because they're in the back of my video. So I'm just gonna record doing cable rows because I'm not really getting anybody in the shot here. Same weight as that other week, just aiming for a rep PB. And again, when I do cable rows, I like to put my feet on that higher platform. I find I can keep my legs straight that way and just focus more on training the actual back as opposed to like applying pressure through my legs. Third and final set of these. Already hit a rep PB on the first 2 sets, so happy with that. If I can hit a rep PB on this 3rd set, I'll be really stoked. But after this, it's just onto the rear delt row, which is kind of, it doubles as a back and a rear delt exercise, so kind of like a back finisher and a rear delt primer, and then I go into the face pulls after that, which is where I really hammer the rear delts. Yeah, nothing else to really say, just gotta get the shit done and get out of here. Pretty sure that was a rep PB. Let me check. I got, yeah, it's a rep PB. Cool. On to rear delt rows now. So about to do my second set. I got 3 of these and then 3 sets of face pulls. I meant to do 2 sets of calves to finish off as well, because like I mentioned previously, I'm trying to train calves at least every day, or at the very worst every other day. But yeah, just same weight as last week on this, aiming for the same number of reps or a rep PB if possible. And yeah, that's all I'm really doing here. Like, it's boring, it's repetitive, but that's the stuff that gets the job done. Like, people want everything to be fun and exciting all the time, and people have these unrealistic expectations of what training is like when you're doing it right, or when you're training to get results, that is, and not just training for the enjoyment of it. And same thing with nutrition. Like, if you want to get results, a lot of the time you're going to have to do things that you're not going to enjoy. It's not going to be comfortable in the short term, but in the long term it'll be rewarding because you'll get the outcome that you want. It's all about delaying gratification. To be honest, this generation today sucks at delaying gratification. We live in an instant gratification kind of society where everyone wants everything instantaneously. They want it now, with minimal or no effort put into it, essentially. And that's the reason why a lot of people are fat or skinny or unhealthy. It's not because they got bad genetics. It's not because they're not using performance enhancing drugs. Sure, genetics will help you, and sure, performance enhancing drugs will help you in ways, but a lot of it's just a lack of action, too much inaction, and just unrealistic expectations, setting these unrealistic standards of, oh, if my diet isn't enjoyable every single waking minute of the day, it's not the right diet for me. Or, oh, if I don't enjoy every exercise in my training, or, oh, if I get sick of an exercise but I'm still progressing on it, I need to change the program. The program's broken. No, the program's not broken, you're broken. Fix yourself. And that's the reality of it. People are too soft these days, and it's difficult to say that because you offend so many people these days, but it's true. Like, people are just soft. You push them and they start crying. People have no toughness to them anymore. And yeah, sure, that's a little bit of a off tangent, I suppose. I don't know, it's just a little bit off tangent from what I'm saying, but it still has relevance, bears relevance. Because people are so soft, they lack the mental fortitude to stick with things that they don't enjoy. That's basically what I'm getting at. And you need to develop that mental fortitude. It's very rarely that you'll be born with that mental fortitude. You have to develop it. It's a skill, a learnable skill, a trainable skill over time. But I was very inconsistent. I was very undisciplined when I was younger. And it was through a combination of other people drilling me about being inconsistent and being slack and lazy, and myself starting to drill myself as well, because I realized, hey, I got to a certain age where I was like, hang on a minute, no one else is going to be on my case anymore. I need to be on my own case. And that's when I really started to just hammer myself. If I was slipping up, if I was being lazy or slack, I would be onto myself, basically. I'd be on my own case. And it definitely played a pivotal role in shaping me into who I am today, and it's allowed me to be a lot more consistent. You need to realize that you'll get to a certain point where it's no longer your parents' job to discipline you. It's your job to discipline yourself. And if you don't do it, you're going to turn into a fat, lazy slob like the majority of the population. And that's just the reality of it. I'm just spitting facts. Enough rambling though. I'm going to get this second set done because I'm getting cold. Then the third set and the final exercise. And it's out of here. Don't you love it when you throw your phone on your bag and it bounces off and axes itself? Not sure I like this attachment. Give it one more shot. Nah, I'm changing it to the rope. Oh. You know what? Instead of doing calves, I might attempt to train abs again. Fingers crossed I don't cramp up like I usually do, because I really miss training abs, but I haven't been able to lately because of the cramping. If anybody knows why that is, comment down below. It's not hydration, like it's not dehydration. I've already ruled that out. So I'm just not sure what it could be, to be honest. Yeah, it happens whether I've eaten, whether I haven't eaten. It just cramps up. It almost feels like the fascia is spasming, like the fascia underneath my abdominals is spasming and kind of like crunching up. It's fucked. Yeah, if you know what it is, put it in the comment section down below. Been doing a lot of reading, I can't seem to find anything on it. Yeah, I'll train abs again and probably wrap the video up here, guys. So if you enjoyed it, that's awesome. If not, I don't blame you, it's just me lifting. But I'll see you in the next video if you stick around.